What's up, y'all? It's Chad Weems, Quad Mazda 3, aka Rastaman. I know it's been a while. I've just been kind of relaxing and just pretty much enjoying life. Just working 2 jobs. Just trying to move out in the next 3 months or so. But I just got an unboxing for y'all. I kind of just wanted to update y'all what's going on or what's been going on. It's about the Banshee. But just here's an unbox right here. It's pretty much just the same as last time. Wiseco forged pistons, same ones as last time. The 64.50 millimeter, 20 over. And I got the top end and bottom end gasket kit right here. Hopefully it's a sticker. No damn sticker. Fuck it. But basically, let me just give you the rundown on what's been going on with the Banshee. Basically, got the pistons and stuff like that, piston and rings installed in the Banshee a month ago, which y'all know. It still needed 2-3 things done to it. It still needed the intake manifold, the boots, the rubber boots, and the gaskets for that put in, which I had got a different guy to do it because my uncle's tire on this truck went flat. So I was just like, I didn't feel like waiting a whole week for the guy who put the piston and rings in to do it, because I guess he works during the week and only does it on the weekends, and then he has other people's bikes and stuff to look at because he's pretty much the local mechanic for people in my family. And so I got my next door neighbor to do all that, which he did like the install for me with the big 3 on my car, and put in my what do you call it, my emission solenoid in my car, and he fixes up cars and stuff like that. Has a four-wheeler of his own. He has like a 250 utility four-wheeler, but he has an understanding how to rebuild carbs and do stuff like that. Which, I trust him. As a mechanic, I trust him, or trusted him. And make a long story short, he put in the boots and stuff like that. The Banshee was running fine before he did all that. I mean, the boots had cracks, had a crack in it, in one of them. And the other one was kind of sealed up, but I didn't want to keep riding with it, with a hole in the boot, because it'll make it run lean, make it burn up. So I wanted to get that done as soon as possible. So basically, after he put them in, he was talking about how he's having problems with it, how it wouldn't idle right, and all this stuff. And then when I rode it, took it back in the trails, it was just revving up really high. Kill switch wouldn't turn it off. Took it to my grandma's house, and my uncle was saying that maybe it's the throttle getting stuck, maybe it's this, maybe the flow is getting stuck in the carbs. So ordered a new switch because it got to the point where it wasn't killing the motor and it wasn't letting it get spark. And then gave it back to him, and he rebuilt the carbs, and he was still having that problem. Well, he put on the new switch. Well, that fixed the problem with the starting and the killing, but he was still having problems with it not being able to auto right. And then let me see, it was 3 weeks ago. He called me. He was like, "Yeah, I rebuilt the carbs and everything, and put all that stuff in, rebuilt the carbs, but I went to go, start it up the next day, and the kickstart was hard, and so I didn't even try to turn it over or nothing like that, and which pretty much meant that he pretty much burned up my fucking bike." And I had saw the dude who first put in my piston and rings, the first guy to ever touch it since I've owned it. He came into my job, and I was like, I was going to take it back to him. But when I had texted him to let him know what was going on, he never texted back. And I was like, okay. But then when I saw him in the story, he was like, yeah, the reason why I didn't text you back is because I knew what was going on and blah, blah, blah. It was just like, if you knew what the hell was going on, why didn't you fucking say anything to me? I don't even know you. You're my uncle's friend. My uncle, kind of said, hey, I know this guy who does it pretty good. It's not like I fucked you over. The money that you charged me for it, I gave the money to you on time. I didn't say, oh, I ain't got the money or whatever. I gave you the money. No problems. That's unprofessional as hell. It seems like you got an attitude because, I needed someone else to work on it. Not because I didn't like your work or your price, because I just needed to get stuff done quick. I didn't just hand it over to someone I didn't even know. And he said, oh, yeah, I'll take a look at it. Next day, he took a look at it. He was like, oh, yeah, there's supposed to be a hose, the hose that goes in between the two carbs, the crossover tube, or what most people know it as the choke tube, which I guess sends like fuel into both carbs and helps it run right. And without it, make it run lean and make it burn up. And so basically that's what was happening. It was detonating itself and it was running, making the spark plugs, get super hot and basically not letting the switch be able to turn it off. And basically it was burning the fucking pistons and rings and shit up, which it burnt up the left side. And he looked at it and he was like, yeah. And then the dude my next door neighbor who put in the boots and all that stuff and the brake pads, he was, oh, I don't remember putting on. He said, I don't remember a hose being there or nothing like that, which he's an honest dude, good dude, but even the best mechanics will forget to put things on, and I wasn't mad. I just stayed calm. And after that, I was like, yeah, just leave the Banshee in there until I get it and everything. And went to go talk to T. That's the guy who first touched my Banshee. He's like, yeah, man. He said, I had your stuff running good before he even touched it, which is the truth. It didn't start acting all crazy until the second dude touched it. And he was like, well, I'll look at it next weekend because I'm breaking my bike down. So the next week, he was supposed to look at it, but it started snowing. But he said, yeah, next week, which was supposed to be the weekend that just passed. I was supposed to drop it off Friday. I texted him. He never texted me back or said anything back to me, and it's just like, he always seemed kind of shady. He always kind of acted that way towards me. I don't know the dude. I paid him on time. It's just like he's supposed to be professional, but he acts so unprofessional, and that's cool. I don't get down like that. I don't like dealing with people who act like that. I don't got time for that shit and people being disrespectful and shit. It's like you don't want to help me out when you said you would, then I'll go to somebody else. Someone, the Lord will bless me with somebody else that'll actually help me, because I don't do other people like that. So my coworker, she gave me somebody's number. Went to his house. It was actually her husband. He used to race for Yamaha, and he broke down the Banshee. The Banshees all broke down, motors out, and it turned out it had more than just basically the piston rings didn't get fused into the cylinders or nothing like that. It didn't burn into them or melt into them, but the left piston is all burnt up. The left side wasn't getting the right amount of oil. It was running lean. Right side's good, but I'm still going to replace both pistons. But he noticed that the left side, the bearing is bad because where the crankshaft is, the rod is wobbly, but the right side is firm, but the left side is just like wobbly. It's like a bobblehead. So that means T, the first guy who ever touched it, he's not as professional as he seems to be. He's as professional as his fucking attitude and the way he just comes off shady as shit. So he mustn't have noticed that he had to, if you're changing the pistons, you have to fucking feel that it's wobbly and shit and that the bearing is messed up. There's no way. He just pretty much half-assed it. He's not as good as he fucking seemed to be. So I know not to go back to his stupid ass or the other dude. But basically, I ordered these, and I just went ahead, ordered a whole new crankshaft, all already assembled, brand new, which that's coming in 2 days. And I was gonna get the machine shop to put in the bearings, because the bearings have to be pressed on, removed, and pressed on. by a machine shop or a shop, but it's just a pain in the ass trying to do it because it seems like no one does it around here anymore. And my coworker, who gave me her husband's number, was going to do a favor for me at the machine shop and get the guy to do it for me, but I said it's easier just to order a whole new crank. So I just did that from off at RockyMountainATV.com, and that'll be in the next 2 days. And I ordered these in a top end and bottom end kit, and I ordered the flywheel remover tool for the Banshee because a regular flywheel with the two claw one, all it's going to do is just, even a good one, what just happens is when you put the two claws up under the flywheel and you go to tighten it up, it just pops off. It just bends up and breaks. And with that, you can also, I pretty much read and found out that it can actually rip off the magnet behind the flywheel. So it's better just to use the actual Banshee tool for the Banshee. So that's coming in too in the next 2 days. Amazon Prime 2-day shipping. Thank you, Amazon, which is this right here. So basically, yeah, new crankshaft, piston and rings, and she's gonna be running like a pro. So I'll have an update video for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I still got my system in my car, the two SoundCube 12s, still bumping hard. For any of you bass heads, I was wondering, where the fuck you been at with that? I'll probably make a video soon, maybe not. I kind of been taking a break from it because I got a new hobby, but that's still my first love. I just want to give a shout out to Jay Jones, Ryan Mendoza, Old School Bass Van 9, K Chaos, PSE Mentalist, Starpuss, yeah, pretty much all the bass heads and all the ATV/dirt bike riders. I tip my hat to y'all. And let me see what else I want to say. Tax season, ballin' bitches. Only time of year we ballin'. Tax time, yeah. Which I filed my taxes this morning myself for the first time on TurboTax, which it went perfectly fine because I went to H&R Block and got a second check on that, and they said yeah, everything's fine. So, excuse my room, I'm in the process of cleaning up and stuff like that. So. This video is long as shit. It's like 12 minutes, but I had a lot to say. But pretty much the saying of the day or whatever, or lesson learned, or however you want to say it, is don't let everybody touch your shit. You will get fucked over sometimes, but eventually you will find someone that's decent. And when you go to get your shit done, don't half-ass it. Take your time, do it right. So, all right, y'all. Peace. Be safe out there. Oh shit.